Good evening, folks. Thank you for getting on the stream this afternoon. I trust that everyone has had a productive, fantastic afternoon, hopefully. And hope you're out there enjoying the weather and enjoying this good weather that we're having so far. It seems like we got over this little smog that was going over the air that they titled as a brush fire, you know. To be perfectly honest with you, I've never believed it was a brush fire in the first place, you know. But I won't get into that part. But I hope that you guys covered up your face with a mask, because to be quite honest with you, with this particular smog, I think we're going to see some illnesses that's going to surface later on down the road as a result of this so-called alleged brush fire. But on to other news. Again, thank you guys for getting on the stream tonight. To all my moderators, if you can hear me well. If you can hear me well, put a 1 in the chat room. Put a 1 in the chat room if you can hear me well. And we're going to get right into it. Shout out to Khalid for the $10 Cash App in support of the channel. I appreciate your support, man. Shout out to Abdul. I see you. Thank you for the 1. Appreciate you. Guys, a little housekeeping as you come into the building. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, which seems to be the hardest thing for folks to hit. You know, I'm trying to figure out whether they have an electrocution system set up on YouTube where if you hit the button or if you touch it, you get a little shock, you know. I'm thinking that perhaps maybe you get electrocuted if you hit the like button. I don't know. Could be me. But guys, if I'm wrong about that, if I'm incorrect, and I could be wrong, hit the like button. That supports the channel. That creates the activity in the algorithms, and it gets the stream available to all that may not even know I'm live right now. So support the channel by hitting the like button. I will assure you that it's free. It is free. And for those of you that want to support the channel, you can support the channel at Cash App, $, capital C, capital G, 4033. And again, shout out to Khalid for the $10 support of the channel through Cash App. I appreciate your support, man. Shout out to Margaret. Love you, Mom. I'm glad you're on the channel tonight. And we're going to get right into it, folks. You see the subject, Tyrese Gibson and the vindictive nature of the modern woman. Marriage is off the table. And I'm going to go into why it's off the table. For many who have a desire to be married, men in general, Black men in particular who have an idea and a desire to be married. Why this desire is quickly being extinguished like a brush fire. You know, like the brush fire we just recently saw in Canada. It's being extinguished like that. I mean, the whole idea is being totally burnt down to the ground. And we can thank the modern woman for developing this mindset and for also encouraging this mindset without even realizing it. I'm going to go into it tonight, but I'm going to highlight an issue that's going on with our brother Tyrese Gibson. Again, the subject, Tyrese Gibson and the vindictive nature of the modern woman. Marriage is again off the table. Let's get right into it. I'm going to go into first talking about a few stats according to blackdemographics.com. For black people, by black people. This site can be found at www.blackdemographics.com. You can find this information. There are many tabs that you can select. The one I would suggest is the one entitled Households, and then click on the tab Marriage, and you'll see the same information I'm going to highlight tonight. What I like to do in every stream is not come from a point of opinion, because opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, and no one wants to really hear your opinion. I'll be honest with you. And what I'm finding very interesting is that most people don't even want to hear the facts once you make it available to them by way of streaming information. So anyway, this is blackdemographics.com, and I'm going to get into an area where it's talking about black marriage in America. It says, over the last few decades, marriage has been a declining institution among all Americans, and this decline is even more evident in the black community. In 2020, only 30% of African Americans were married, compared to 48% of all Americans. Half or 50% of African Americans have never been married. Now let's look at this, folks. It says in 2020, only 30% of African Americans were married, compared to 48% of all Americans. Then it goes on to say this, and I think this is something very interesting to pay attention to. Half or 50% of African Americans have never been married, compared to 34% of all Americans. Now, when you look at that, it makes you scratch your head just a little bit and ask the same question that I've asked myself many times. What is the problem? Why is it that no one wants to get married? Why? Where and what has the society digressed to today that the modern woman and the modern man does not have an interest in getting married? What has discouraged the population in making that decision? See, we can look at the facts, we can look at the data, and we can look at the statistics, right? But if we don't look at the why of why people make these decisions, then we just continue repeating the same process over and over again. But we never get to the solution. Why? Because we never look at the solution. We only look at the outcomes, and then we make our decision based on outcomes, never diving deep. What I want to do tonight, this afternoon, is I want to dive a little deeper into areas that we usually don't pay attention to. It said also in 2020, just under half or 48% of black women had never been married, which is up to 44% in 2008 and 42.7% in 2005. You may say, well, Charles, those years have already gone and passed. I want to educate you just a little bit. Stats, data, and statistics are not updated, but every 10 years. Every 10 years. That's when stats, data, and statistics are updated. I can only imagine what the stats, data, and statistics are going to say when it's time to do the updates with these numbers. I'll tell you this. I believe that the numbers are going to be much higher. I believe they're going to be much higher. Again, today we're married at a 30% rate, and I would say probably more like 26%. That's very, very low, folks. That's very low. Ladies, you've heard me say in many streams that you determine access to your body in childbirth. Men determine relationships and or marriage. If the stats are as low as I just stated, it's safe to say that men are deciding, regardless of their ethnicity. We see the ethnicity and the percentages vary, yes. But it's still safe to say that men are not choosing to marry you. They're not choosing to marry you. Why? Let's look at what the situation is in the society today. We have an increasingly high level of adversarial court proceedings where men are concerned. A man can walk into court where a woman is concerned, and the minute he walks into that courtroom, he's automatically deemed guilty of whatever the charge is before the judge even hears the charge. This is the reality. And guys, I know you know that. Many of you have already experienced the adversarial climate of the courtroom when you walk in where the judge is being disrespectful to you and you have not given any cause for that disrespect. You have not said anything disrespectful. In fact, you've tried to be polite. And yet the judge still finds himself or herself being disrespectful, being low-key, condescending, where you are concerned. So we understand what that courtroom is. It's the playground. It's the playground, and there are children in that playground that are playing, especially as it relates to divorce with you. We're going to get right into it tonight, man. Again, as you come into the building, hit that subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the like button. Please hit the like button, guys. Support the channel. And if you should feel value in the content, support the channel via Cash App. $, capital C, capital G, 4033. And again, I appreciate your support. We're going to get right into it. I want to go into the issue dealing with our brother Tyrese Gibson and his wife, or I should say ex-wife, Mrs. Samantha Lee Gibson. We're going to get right into it. In an article that was printed by Rolling Out Entertainment, it's titled, Tyrese has sad revelation about his ex-wife during their divorce trial. I'm going to just read a few paragraphs of this. I want you to listen. It says, Tyrese is never shy about expressing his emotions on social media. And we know that. Those of us that have watched Tyrese in the past, he's very transparent when he gets on his Instagram channel and begins to express some of the issues that he's dealing with. He's very transparent. He's never been shy about doing that. So it goes on to say in this article, Tyrese is never shy about expressing his emotions on social media, especially when it comes to his love life. In his most recent outbursts, he talked about his marriage to Samantha Lee Gibson from 2017 to 2020. The two are still going through a divorce, and Tyrese says he's found out some things about the marriage that he didn't realize until now. He said, I left the courtroom during my divorce trial, and I realized it was never love. It was just a transaction, Tyrese said in a video posted on social media. We did a whole marriage and did the whole duration of a child and started a family just to find out it was all about money, status, and transaction. Tyrese said, imagine me being the only actor in a relationship, to then realize I was in a relationship for 5 years with one of the best actors I've ever met in my effing life. That's what he said. In April of 2023, Tyrese was ordered to pay around $636,000 in child support and lawyer fees. Guys, do you hear that? Not only was he ordered to pay $636,000 in child support for a child that he's been there for, up until she decided to file for divorce. But he was then ordered by the court to pay her $636,000 in child support and lawyer fees, meaning her lawyers, the lawyers that she retained, he was ordered to pay for those lawyers in the custody battle with Gibson. He was also instructed to pay $237,944 to his ex-wife and $399 to her attorney. Now, folks, I don't know if you know math like I do, but that comes to a grand total of $1,272,942. Hey, guys, let me tell you something, man. Hey, listen. You know, just go ahead. I'm going to give you a chance to clean your ears out just a little bit, man. Listen. You guys better be careful, man. You better pay attention, especially in this modern day time. Again, like you've heard me say in every stream, listen, I'm going to say this real slow. There are no wives left. There are no wives left. And I will say to you guys that have a good woman, you better understand what you have, because she's the last of a dying breed. And I will say, not just the last of a dying breed, but a breed that has already died. There are no wives. There are none left. None. So what would I suggest to you young guys, you young fellas that are coming up right now? Don't marry none of these women. None. I mean it. Listen, I mean it. None. If you want to find out what level or quality of female that you're dating with, that you're with right now, that you're seeing, that you're interested in, don't take her out on no food date, no dinner date. Guys, you need to stop doing that. And shout out to Ringo TV and Reactions, who constantly expresses this point. Stop taking women on dinner dates. No, stop it, man. You want to find out, well, I know you may say, well, Charles, how can I get to know her? Well, I'm glad you asked. Take her to the park. Walk around the park. Have the conversation that you need to have. Do that consecutively, and I will tell you, like I said in a previous stream, watch her body language. If she's dissatisfied about you taking her to the park, you already know what the answer to that is. Let her go. If she can't appreciate the simple things, then don't you spend a dime. I mean it, brothers. You already know you're not that hungry, so why are you spending $200 at a dinner date? You already know you're not that hungry, so why are you spending $150 at a dinner date? Keep your money in your pocket. Take her to the park. I mean it. Listen, take her to the park. That way you get to find out where her mind is, where her head is, where you're concerned. All right? This is what you need to do. Tyrese is in a bad situation. This is not a joking matter where he's concerned. It's really not a joking matter. And now some of you ladies in the clouds will be saying, well, that's what he gets. That's what he gets. What exactly does that mean? And I will tell you this, that the way the climate is going today in the society, folks, where divorces are at an 85% rate, of which that same 85% is filed by women. Men are not filing for divorce. And if he does, you can guarantee he's with a demon. That's why he's filed. But for the most part, men are not known, nor does the data, nor does the stats and the statistics support. Men do not file for divorce, typically. But women file, again, at an 85% rate, only to find themselves going after the same man and taking everything that he has. Now, I will say this. For those of you guys who are whoremonger males, and you know if you're a whoremonger male, and if you are, I'm talking to you. If you're one of these kind of guys that just have a reputation of running through women, leaving them with babies and just going from one woman to the next and leaving them with babies, then whatever happens to you, you deserve everything that happens to you. I'm not talking to that kind of Pookie. I'm not talking to that kind of Nug. And I'm certainly not talking to that kind of Killer Mike. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about men who actually are in a position to provide, and they're actually doing the right thing. These kind of men are marrying women that come in with an ulterior motive. I'm warning you, brothers. I'm warning you guys. Don't marry none of these women. Not today. Not today. Until they are proven. And you can't find out if they're proven by getting married within a few months. Typically, it should only take a man 6 months. Typically. Barring no interruptions, barring no setbacks, barring no personal reasons for which the marriage is delayed. But typically, it should only take a man 6 months to make a decision. He knows that who he's with, if in fact she's marriage material. But what I'm saying to you guys is that there are no women out here that are marriage material. I know some of you ladies that hear my stream, you're going to be like, well, I'm marriage material. Well, you can prove that by showing me your husband. And you can also prove that by showing me the man that's checking for you. The truth of the matter is there's no one checking for you. And you know this. What they are checking for is to find out if you're available at any given time of the day or night. And it's usually to hook up. And ladies, I don't have to express what hookup means. You know what hookup means. That's what they're calling you for. They're not calling you for a serious relationship now. In fact, many of you ladies don't even have this kind of conversation from the beginning when you meet a guy. You really don't. Up front, and to my sad regret, in every encounter that a man has with a woman today in modern day time, it always starts off with her looking at what she can receive from him financially. And guys, let me tell you, stop being a sucker. Stop being a sucker falling into that trap. Nah, don't fall into that trap, guys. Pay attention. Stop falling into that trap, because we can see the evidence and we can see all the mud that's on the wall. Look what happened to Dr. Dre. Look what happened now to Tyrese in more recent times. And we can go down the list of men whose financial portfolio has been literally raked down to nothing based on a marriage. Based on a marriage. These women today are not made of the same stuff that our foreparents were made of. You've heard me say in previous streams in times past where I talked about the women of today versus the women of yesterday. The women of yesterday were simply made of better stuff. They were simply made of better stuff, guys. I didn't cause this problem. This is a problem that has been created by way of feminism and the feminist movement. And this is also a problem that has been adopted by women, black women in particular. And now they've learned very cleverly how to use the court system and how to use the adversarial climate of the court system against you when you make a decision to marry them. And I'm talking about today. I'm talking about today. So I know you may say, well, are you saying, Charles, that there are no good women out there? There are no good wives? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they're so far few and in between, you have a better chance of finding a needle in a field of haystacks than finding one that is marriage material. This is a fact. This is a fact. And it doesn't matter if you get upset. Ladies, it really doesn't matter if you get upset. Because you know, like I'm expressing in the stream tonight, that what I'm saying is absolutely 100% correct. You know women right now that you personally deal with that are your friends. They're single as French toast, and you know it. In fact, all of your friends are single, with the exception of perhaps one. And you guys go out on dates together, and you're all together in a restaurant. It's just a bunch of women sitting around a table, but there are no husbands. There are no men that are even checking for you to be wives. You go out on girl trips, cruises, where it's just a bunch of women going on cruises and trips out of the country, perhaps. You know this is true. You know this is true. You may not like to hear it. You may not even like to come face to face with the reality, but the reality is that many of you will never, ever see marriage for the rest of your life. As long as you hold on to this mindset, this current modern woman mindset, and I've said it in many different streams, and I'll continue saying it until you understand that this is not only a reality, but it is your reality. And you will have to live with this reality until you leave this planet. That you, in fact, will be by yourself until you leave. Because these kind of narratives, these kind of outcomes and circumstances where men are concerned, men of means, where they're having their whole life turned inside out and upside down, and then women take away after just a few years. This woman was married to Tyrese for 4 years. Wow. In 4 years, she goes from literally obscurity to millionaire status. This man worked his whole life to acquire his wealth, his whole entire life, to acquire the wealth and the status that he acquired. Guys, I'm going to tell you something, man. If you have money, women do not see you. You know what your face looks like? A dollar sign. That's what it looks like. For those of you that have means financially, women do not see you. They see a dollar sign. Understand that. And for those of you that can come to terms with that reality, you'll know how to move in these streets. You'll know how to move in these streets, man. You won't make the careless, silly, simpish decisions where many of these women are concerned, because they don't see you, they see a dollar sign. Many women, the modern woman today, could care less about you. They care more about what you can do for them. This is the facts. This is the reality. Take it or leave it alone. It is a fact. It is a fact. What I intend to do on my channel is protect as many men, warn as many men, guard and put many men in a position to put their guard up against relationships when they make those decisions, so they can make proper decisions. Oh yeah, no doubt. And what I would tell you guys, focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Focus on your leveling up, getting yourself together. No doubt. That way you have the pick of the litter. You can decide. But what you have to be careful about, because so many of us, even as men, we've fallen victim to this feminist mindset. Yeah, believe it or not, there's a lot of feminists that are men. That's where you get the songs that Babyface made many years ago. You know, I'll run your bath water and I'll cook your dinner too soon as I get home from work. You ladies like those kind of songs. I know you do. I know you do. The question is, why wasn't the water ran for him when he got home from work? That's the question. Why wasn't the dinner cooked for him when he got home from work? That's the question. And why is the whole concept of these things so foreign? I know many of you are saying, I'm not running no bath water. That's exactly why you're single. That's exactly why nobody's checking for you. It's that mentality. Oh, I'm not cooking no dinner. I'm not doing that for him. He got 2 hands. He can cook it himself. All right, fine. Well, that's exactly why you're single. I mean, you do know that, right? You do know that. That's why you're single, right? Okay. All right. As long as you know that. But this mindset has got you in a cobweb that you're having so much difficulty getting yourself from, freeing yourself from. After you take everything from a man who married you in good faith, right? What do you intend to be the outcome after that? Do you think you've garnered trust among men who find this out? Do you think you've garnered trust in any man that watches you do this to another man? Do you think they trust you enough to take you serious in terms of marriage or committed relationship? Do you think they take you serious at that point? I think not. I think not. I think not. This is insane, man. This is crazy. It really is. There's another article that was written in All Hip Hop. It says Tyrese Gibson divorce gets ugly over nasty allegations. Now, this was an article that was printed much earlier, before during the time that the divorce began to start off, when they were right in the beginnings of it. I want you to listen to some things that was said in this article. It says Tyrese and his estranged with Samantha have made some bad allegations against each other in new court papers as they prepare for divorce. I want you to listen to some of this stuff, man. It's crazy in these streets, man. It says singer and actor Tyrese Gibson's divorce is starting to get ugly, as if no divorce today is ugly. All of them are ugly. All of them are ugly, I'll be honest with you. It don't have to be. I mean, how many of you guys remember back in the day when we had a girlfriend and we said, will you go out with me? Circle one, yes or no. All it took was a yes or a no. If it was no, okay, fine. You went on to the next, right? If she said yes, you guys hung out for as long as that lasted. And when it didn't last any longer, you broke up, right? No harm, no foul. It's funny that you can't even get rid of a bad situation without going through hell and without having to spend all of your life savings just to get rid of a bad situation. This is the system we live under. And I will tell you, it does not encourage a man to make that decision. Not at all. Especially, as I said in the beginning of the stream, in an adversarial climate in the courtroom where men are automatically wrong before the case is even brought before the judge. Telling you guys, be careful, man. Be careful. It goes on to say, singer and actor Tyrese Gibson's divorce is starting to get ugly after refuting allegations, suggesting he locked his estranged wife and their daughter out of their family home. Then it goes on to say, however, court papers reveal Samantha actually pulled the plug on their 2017 marriage back in September, and then accused Tyrese of changing the locks on their Georgia home weeks earlier, as if he shouldn't have done that. Let's continue. Preventing her from entering with their 2-year-old daughter, Soraya. I will say this. Did Samantha think about their two-year-old daughter, Samaya, when she decided to pull the plug? I think not. Let's go. She goes on to claim he cut her off financially, but now Tyrese is fighting back at the allegations, insisting there is no truth to the accusation. Now, do you think they'll believe him in saying that in the courtroom in an adversarial climate where we are concerned when we go into a courtroom where a woman is concerned? I think not. Let's go. He additionally details the fight, which led to their separation, revealing they clashed after he returned home from a movie set in late August, and during the heated 3-hour conversation, Samantha threatened to call the police on the star. Oh, you don't want the man in your house, but you know how to call a man on your husband. Oh, there you go. Let's go. Tyrese explains he decided to walk out of the house to avoid confrontation with the cops, citing safety fears after multiple public incidents involving police brutality and racially motivated killings of unarmed African American people. As he should. You know, we as black men, whenever you incorporate law enforcement, police, whether we're right or whether we're wrong, we know how the outcome of that situation can go. We could lose our life at the hands of law enforcement. Because I will tell you something, the adversarial climate as it relates to men in this country, it runs so deep that is even in law enforcement officers who in fact are men. Are men. You heard me say in the early part of the stream, even men have been sold to the feminist mindset. So you're not even safe when you call the police, because in fact, that could be the day you die. So what did he choose to do as a result? He chose to remove himself from the situation to avoid potentially losing his life by way of law enforcement. Smart move, man. The marriage was Tyrese's second marriage, for those of us that don't know. He was previously married to Norma Gibson, the mother of his 13-year-old daughter, Shayla. Now, with his previous marriage to Shayla, he didn't go through nearly the same situation at all. He wasn't ordered by the court to pay nearly as much as he was ordered to pay with his second wife. In fact, I believe it was somewhere upwards of $6,000. That's it. Just shy of $7,000 per month for child support. He didn't have to pay court fees. He didn't have to pay any of that. So there was a stark difference in what happened to him in this particular situation. You know, and so what I would say to you guys, man, you know, it's sad. It really is. Now, I want to go over something that he posted in his Instagram at the beginning of the divorce. Unfortunate separation from his wife. And I don't know if it's unfortunate or whether it's, I think for every situation like this that happens to men, I think it should be a learning curve. Unfortunately, what I'm finding out, especially in the celebrity arena, they don't seem to learn. You know, they get into a marriage, they get divorced, they got to pay $1 million or $600,000, $700,000, and they turn around and get married again. And then they have to pay another $300,000 or $400,000, and they turn around and get married again. And you can't make it up, man. Stupid is that stupid does. I will tell you that. You know, guys, pay attention. This is something he wrote in his on his Instagram page when it first began. He said, "We have decided to make a statement of a painful and significant development in our lives. We conceive what I read already previously, that this wasn't painful except to one person. Who was it painful to? It was painful to Tyrese. I don't think it was painful to Samantha at all. Let's go. After much thought, consideration, and prayer, we unfortunately have made the difficult decision to officially separate and divorce. Our intention is to remain the best of friends." Tell me how the hell you can be the best of friends with anyone that's doing what they're doing to Tyrese. How can you be friends with a woman that's doing this to you? No, this is called a PR statement. This is a PR statement. This is not a realistic statement. Let's go. He goes on to say, and strong co-parenting. We'll find out if that's true as we go forward. We feel incredibly blessed to have found each other. In a situation like this, guys, you're not incredibly blessed. You have, in fact, been incredibly cursed. But this was a woman out of hell if she's putting you through this. Let's go. Then it says, we are deeply grateful for the 4 years we've been married to each other. Grateful for what? The only thing grateful about that situation is that they brought forth a child. And I will tell you, no matter how devil-filled the relationship is, if you brought forth a child, that's all you have to be grateful for. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else at all. Let's go. Our journey together has been a ride of both ups and downs. But it's a journey that neither of us would have chosen to take. I think she chose it when she met you, Tyrese. Oh, she chose it when she met you, bro. But let's go. He said, we would not have chosen to take with anyone else. We truly have so much love and respect for each other. That's a lie. You know that's cap. You know that's cap, guys. You know that's cap. You know that's cap. There's no love and respect here. Nah, I believe he loves her, but she damn sure don't love him, and she certainly don't respect him. If she did, why would you be about trying to hurt the man that married you, who's the father of your children? I want to say to you ladies that talk this foolishness, you don't love the man that gave you the children that you have if you're going after him to hurt him. Nah, if you're looking for a come up, if you're looking for a bankroll after the marriage, you are just what you are, a vulture. That's it. And you have, in fact, proven that you are not marriage material. Let's go. Then it goes on to say, we both have grown tremendously within this relationship. How? How? Grown how? We have shared so many beautiful memories and moments. Can't be that many. It's only been 4 years. Bruh, it's only been 4 years. How many memories? How many beautiful memories? She's trying to make sure that the years going forward outnumber the years of beautiful memories with hellish memories. Let's go. Then she goes on to say, and we also look forward to see the amazing futures we have ahead of us individually. You know what? The only one that's looking for the amazing future is her, because she's leaving with the bag. She's leaving with the bag. He's leaving emptying out the bag. Now, she can't control his future where his acting profession or career is concerned. But she left with a bag after 4 years. That's it. It took Tyrese 20 plus years to reach the level financially and the status that he's reached up to this point, only for a woman to come into his life and steal over $1 million from him in just 4 years. Again, like I've always said, ladies, the women of old were simply made of better stuff. Find out what that stuff was, because you've already sentenced yourself to die alone if you keep following the narrative, if you keep following the mindset. There is no man that's looking at you as a serious creature for marriage. No, not today. Not today. Not today, ladies. Let's go. Then he goes on to say in this printout that he has on his Instagram page. He says, we have shared so many beautiful memories and moments, and we also look forward to see the amazing future we have ahead of us individually. As if 2020 hasn't already been extremely grueling and challenging. To us all, we all wanted to mutually speak on this now, to keep this energy in 2020 and not to take this energy into 2021. Well, we can see that the energy not just went into 2021, but it's going all the way into 2023. No doubt. We would really appreciate your most sincere prayers and to respect our privacy at this time as we deal with the reality of where we are. Now, I want to make something very clear. I want to educate you, you guys on something. Whenever you see a statement printed from an artist or a celebrity, and you see at the very end of it, pay attention, because you've always seen this. I'm going to educate you on something right now. At the end of the article, what does it say? It said, we would really appreciate your most sincere prayers and to respect, here's the word, our privacy at this time. Whenever you see that statement, whether it's the death of a celebrity who's close to that celebrity, or whether it's a marriage, or whether it's anything that's personal to a celebrity, a PR statement always ends with respect our privacy. I will say this, there is no privacy when you're a public figure. No, your whole life is public. So to ask for the public to respect your privacy is to ask for the impossible. There's no such thing. Shout out to Boasted Liberty Network, Khalid. That's right. He said, hit that like button. Guys, hit the like button, please. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. It's all right. It's free. Hit the like button. Again, shout out to Khalid for the contribution to the channel, for the $10 contribution to Cash App. I appreciate you. We would really appreciate all of your sincere prayers and respect for our privacy at this time as we deal with the reality of where we are. I'll tell you who's dealing with the reality, folks. Tyrese is dealing with the reality more than Samantha. Her reality is she just became a multi-millionaire and did nothing to earn it. She didn't work for the years that he worked to earn that. No, she did not. She came in for a 4-year ride and she left out with what you ladies like to call the bag. Guys, I'm telling you, man. Fellas, I'm telling you. Don't marry any of these women. I mean it. I mean, do what you want to do. I can't make you do or not do, but I'm telling you, don't even set yourself up, bro. And stop taking women on dinner dates. Again, as a recap, keep your money in your pocket. Take her to the park. That's right, take her to the park. Don't spend a dime on these women. None, nothing. I mean it. I mean it. This is a man's channel. I'm trying to protect you guys from making the stupid mistake that so many men keep making over and over again. The court systems are not on your side. Law enforcement is not on your side. And the women that you think are on your side, you'll find out very clearly are not on your side. Just pay attention. Pay attention, guys. Pay attention. And then with that being said, I thank all of you for getting on the stream tonight. I am your host, Charles Chambers. It's been another stream of Let's Talk About It Now. Make sure as you come into the building, you hit that subscribe button, hit the share button, and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Support the stream via Cash App, $, capital C, capital G, 4033. With that being said, we are out. I got a stream tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Make sure you guys get on that channel, get on the stream tonight at 10 o'clock. I'll be going to a whole nother subject. The subject is entitled, The Modern Woman Wants a Good Man, but she does not want a man that's after God. We're going to go into that. Again, I thank you all for getting on the stream tonight. And again, we are out. Thank you for support, folks. Shout out to Gail Reed. She said, I'd like a picnic in the park. All right, let's go. Love you, family. I'll see you tonight at 10 o'clock. Peace.